Salutations, dear sadhakas, bhaktas, mumukshus, jignasus, also the worthy disciples of the Guru Parampara, Guru Tattva. How many of the clarities we have to have in our understanding regarding general life, spiritual life? How many of the shackles we have to break while doing what is theoretically understood, doing practically? Not one, not two. All of them, when we take sincerely as the necessary means of our evolution, then we get inspiration to do and the joy while doing. If we take it as a burden, then quickly we go away from the spiritual path again back to total worldliness, which is so natural to everybody. And we were also living that life only habitually from how many lives we don't know. So the doubts regarding clarification regarding the necessity of spiritual path, in that necessity of guru, necessity of satsanga, necessity of swadhyaya, each of the clarities should come to us. Each one have to, by our own selves, our efforts, with the help of satsanga, etc., have to have doubtless clear understanding about the necessity of all these things. So many such things. Necessity of disciplining our daily schedule suitable for our adhyatmic sadhana, in which everything, including our routine, daily schedule, our eating habits, our movements, all of them have to be clearly, thoroughly understood as to how they have to be for the spiritual evolution. Then, once the clarity comes, that's only intellectual. Good stage it is of understanding, but not sufficient. While doing each one of them, and all these need consistent doing till the goal is reached. So right from the first step of doing till we reach, how many of the chains, shackles will bind us in, not allowing us to do these things. Terrible they all. Can come from within, can come from outside. So breaking each of the shackles every time and able to do that particular convinced aspect or practice of spiritual sadhana. Again, same things. Consistently maintaining the need of, maintaining a thought of need of adhyatmikata, not allowing the mind to succumb to outer temptations, which swipe away or wipe away or what do you say, flood away this inspiration of spirituality. We have to really break those shackles every time. Then actually every day is a shackle. Breaking that, you have to come to class. Every day shackle, even while being in the class, to be there till the whole class is over. It is not a one-to-one physical class seated. Therefore, you have more opportunity, you have more chance to get up and get out anytime. Thus, the continuity is never maintained. Shraddha is not maintained. The discipline is not maintained. The respect for the Guru is not there. Insult. That also is a shackle. If sat once, should not move till the class is over. Like that. Then, other than the class, at your own schedule of various sadhanas chalked out, each of them while doing, it's a big shackle. See how much we have to be consistently inspiring ourselves, consistently applying ourselves. And this calls for that great conviction for the truth and lot of inner purity. Ki, I want nothing other than the God. More than these two, what definitely, surely helps is the Krupa of Daivam and Guru. Nobody can avoid this. I know, as we said yesterday, it's like mounting Everest or mounting any of the big mountains that this spirituality is. Once we prepare it in this way in the mind, remember always the mental preparation is half the solution and removes half of the toughness or difficulty. That it is like that, I know it, I am ready. Then the remaining half, the other preparations, to really do the things. In that way, let us be consistent on this path. Let us be like the horses tied with some things to their eyes so that they only see the road and nothing else here and there. We also only seek the truth and walk the said spiritual path. All other, the green fields, the sides, which are very tempting, attractive, let us not even look at them. In this way, every moment protecting ourselves, our journey spiritual has to happen for certain and quick results. Whoever do like this, they definitely get result, surely quickly also. For others, then thousands of lives. It goes on, takes time. And even 1,000 lives के बाद तो भी यही हाल होगा फिर से. When you climb Kedarnath, today or after 100 years, the climbing is same, no? In that Kedarnath, some place, sometime, government may lay new roads. They may have all of other पालकी वालकी. बट इन स्पिरिचुअलिटी वो ऐसा ही होता है हमेशा. जैसे आज मैंने छोड़ा मुश्किल कहकर कहते हुए कि मैं फिर आऊँगा 100 जन्म के बाद. After 100 जन्म also, same way the path will be there with same type of inner and outer challenges. So why postpone it? Right now only, let us take more deeper convictions and then try little bit more so that the difficulty aspect is transcended. We are able to do. Let us see how the God's grace comes, how we are convinced day in and day out. So let us join again to remember the Lord, His nature, and praying to Him to bless us, to near Him through all sadhanas, through the study of Bhagavatam, 10th Skandha, 85th chapter, Vasudeva Kruta Stuti, so too Adhyatma Ramayanam, 15th chapter, exhaustive, beautiful, complete, it is over. In the last 16th sarga of Yuddha Kandam, Bhagavan will send all the Vanaras to their respective places by gifting them so much. So too the Guha Kevat Adi, so too Vibhishana Adi. Then when Rama is the Raja for those 11,000 years, how was the Bhumata Prithvi and how are all the beings? Their dharma acharana, their sukha, their shanti, their ananya bhakti, sharanagati to Rama. All of those are so beautifully told in the 16th chapter or sarga. More beautiful than this is a ki the Phala Shruti in around 10-15 slokas of studying this Adhyatma Ramayana. So far, that is very beautifully said. It appears as if with this only the Ramayana concluded. Actually, a big topic is concluded here only, wherein Ravana removed, all the worlds are freed from his tyranny. Bhagavan Rama himself has become the king to rule. Everything is beautiful. So the Shubham placard is actually over with the end of this Yuddha Kanda only. But again, Kushalava Charitra, some sadhanas have to be told, therefore, Uttarakanda is there. In that also, any avatara comes, till that avatara concludes, the katha has to continue. For those reasons also, Uttarakanda is added. That we'll see later. And our Ashtottaras, today we'll see what it is. I don't remember. Maybe the second of the uh, Subramanya Sambandhi only Ashtottara will be there. Start. Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। ॐ जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्तेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्य किल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। समस्तदेवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो ब्राह्मणेभ्यो आचार्येभ्यो भक्तेभ्यो साधुभ्यो साधकेभ्यो तीर्थेभ्यो क्षेत्रेभ्यो नदीनदेभ्यो शास्त्रेभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेद व्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षे सूतमहामुनये शौनकादि ऋषिभ्यो वैशम्पायनादि ऋषिभ्यो अत्र्यादिषिभ्यो मत्स्यादि अवतारेभ्यो प्रह्लादादि भक्तजनेभ्यो आदित्यादि नवग्रहदेवताभ्यो दक्षिणामूर्ति दत्तात्रेय हयग्रीवादि गुरुभ्यो आदिपराशक्ति मात्रे माता पितृदेवताभ्यो आद्य शंकराचार्यादि गुरुभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं पुराणेतिहासोक्त भगवद्भागवत ऋषिमुनिगुरूणां देवतानां दर्शन अनुग्रह अनुभव प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिक हिन्दव संस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायानां शास्त्राणाम् उपनिषदादि समस्त सद्ग्रन्थानां गुरुशिष्यपरम्परायाः देवतापरम्परायाः समस्त उपासनानां च योगसाधनानां च पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण समस्त विश्वव्याप्ति द्वारा समस्त विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति औन्नति उन्नति द्वारा समस्त विश्व शांति विश्व कल्याण विश्व एकता विश्व सौभ्रातृत्व सामरस्य पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थं अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये निश्चितानाम् अस्माकं सह समस्त धर्म संस्थापकानां भक्त साधक सेवक जिज्ञासु उपासकानां च आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्य क्षेमस्थैर्य आदि समस्त सत्संपदा साधना शक्ति सानुकूल्यतानां प्राप्ति बाह्य अभ्यंतर समस्त रूप शत्रु विघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण शास्त्रस्य दशम स्कंधस्य पारायणमध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओं श्रीकृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणं दशम स्कंधः औ निरोधस्यानुशयनम् आत्मनः सह शक्तिभिः उत्तरार्धः अथ पंचाशीतितमोऽध्यायः। लेट अस चैंट फ्रॉम श्लोका नंबर की 9 से लेकर के we have seen all that. श्री बादरायणिरुवाच दिशां त्वम् अवकाशोऽसि दिशः खं स्फोटाश्रयः नादो वर्णस्तमोङ्कारः आकृतीनां पृथक्कृतिः इन्द्रियं त्विन्द्रियाणां त्वं देवाश्च तदनुग्रहः अवबोधो भवान् बुद्धेः जीवस्यानुस्मृतिः सती भूतानाम् अपि भूतादिः इन्द्रियाणां च तैजसः वैकारिको विकल्पानां प्रधानमनुषायिनां नश्वरेष्विह भावेषु तदपि त्वम् तदसि त्वम् अनश्वरं यथा द्रव्यविकारेषु द्रव्यमात्रं निरूपितं सत्त्वं रजस्तम इति गुणास्तद्वृत्तयश्च याः त्वयि यद्धा ब्रह्मणि परे कल्विदा योगमायया तस्मान्न सन्ध्यमी भावाः यर्हि त्वयि विकल्पिताः त्वं चामेषु विकारेषु ह्यन्यदा व्यावहारिकः गुणप्रवाह एतस्मिन् अबुधास्त्वखिलात्मनः गतिं सूक्ष्मामबोधेन संसरन्तीह कर्मभिः यदृच्छया नृतां प्राप्य सुकल्पामिव दुर्लभां स्वार्थे प्रमत्तस्य च वयः कथं त्वन्माययेश्वर असावहं ममैवैते देहे चास्यान्वयादिषु स्नेहपाशैर्निबध्नाति भवान् सर्वमिदं जगतो युवां ननः सुतौ साक्षात् प्रधानपुरुषेश्वरौ भूभार क्षत्रक्षपण अवतीर्णौ तथात्थः तत्ते गतोऽस्म्यरणमद्यपदारविन्दम् आपन्न संसृतिभयापहमार्तबन्धो एतावतालमलमिन्द्रियलालसेन मर्त्यात्मदृक्त्वयि परे यदपत्यबुद्धिः सूते गृहेणनु जगाद भवानजोनौ सञ्जज्ञ इत्यनुयुगं निजधर्मगुप्त्यै नानातनूर्गगनवत् विदधत जहासि को वेदभूम्न उरुगाय विभूतिमायाम् ओम शांति 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 ओम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री भागवत शरणं मम श्री सद्गुरु शरणं मम श्री सूत शरणं मम श्री शुकदेव शरणं मम श्री व्यास शरणं मम श्री नारद शरणं मम श्री कुमार शरणं मम श्री ब्रह्मा शरणं मम श्री विष्णु शरणं मम श्री परब्रह्म शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम शरणं मम शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव ओ मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्ति अयं रसः अतः पिबन्तु सद्भाग्याः मामामुञ्चत कर्हिचित् कृष्णप्रियं सकलकल्मषनाशनं च मुक्तेकहेतुमिह भक्तिविलासकारी सन्तः कथानकमिदं बिबतादरेण लोके तीर्थपरिशीलनसेवया किं नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणं दशमस्कन्धः उत्तरार्धः अथ पञ्चाशीतितमोऽध्यायः श्री बादरायणिरुवाच Here Sri Vasudevaji is revealing to all of us through the Stuti, the variety of expressions of Narayana. This is, let us say, a Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti is of the Lord. Bhuti is Bhagavan is existing. Vibhuti is he alone is expressing in different forms with his own Shakti for the purpose as he himself plans. So, yesterday we saw our Vasudevaji was telling in all the Pancha Maha Bhutas, whatever the subtle things that are there, contents that are there, the self in them is, Hey Bhagavan, you only. This topic we have seen. Ki, is it not? So, Hey Mahayogi, you are Pradhana Purusheshwara, then the whole Srishti created by you only entering into that as the Prana Shakti and Jiva Shakti sustaining the whole world. At every individual level, a samashti level also. We have to grasp it. We gave example yesterday. I am there. So in me, the Sthula Deha is there. Inside, Prana Shakti is there. So too, the ability to know. The whole body is made up of Dravya, the Prana Shakti is Rajoguna, the Jnana is Sattva. So Bhagavan only through his own powers is expressing in me as these three. So too in you, so too in the other. In every one of them, the Prana and Jnana Shakti Rupena or Jiva Shakti Rupena, Bhagavan alone is there. He only manifested even seeming Sthula Jagat also. Then yesterday we saw all of them, all the pranadinam vishwasujam shaktayaha. the Hiranyagarbhadi, whatever they are said to be, creating the world, they being Jada, they being Paratantra, they are not actually the creators through those equipments. It is you only, O Lord, functioning. In this way, Lord, who is the essence of everything, but he is forgotten, the thing which is expressed in the name and rupa, name and form, that is given reality. Through these portions studied, deeply we have to do those three things. Thing one is to accept the Paramatma's presence in them, because of whom alone everything is happening. Second, that Paramatma has to be discovered in our heart only as that Sachidananda Brahma intellectually. Thereafter, in Dhyanam, abiding in that itself is the final moksha. Then how it looks like? I, the Parabrahman alone, in the whole world of names and forms playing. That I is not this Jiva I, the supreme I, with which we identified experiencing that, transcending the small I, not only Vyashti small, even the Samashti. Sayaschayam Purushe, transcended, Yaschasavaditye, transcended, Saha Ekaha, discovered. Saya Evam with the one who experiences that. That's our goal. So then she said, Ki in the Chandra, Agni, Arka, and uh, Nakshatra and Vidyut. In all these things, whatever Kanti there, Teja is there, Prabha and Satta, all of them are expression of Bhagavan only. Bhagavan only is expressing as them, which are the self of these Chandra Ityadi, without which they don't exist. Same way on the Bhumi as well as Bharata mountains, whatever the Sthirata is there and their Vritti is there. Vritti means being there, Vartanam. So too the Gandha Tanmatra is there, that is Bhagavan only. So too we have seen in the Jala, the Jalatva, because of which the Trupti is coming, the Prana, the life is sustained, then the purification aspect that the Jala is doing, then the Rasa Tanmatra in that water is nothing but Bhagavan only. So the Tanmatra, which is the Atma of that Panchamahabhuta, then expression or the utility of that Panchamahabhuta is nothing but Paramatma's expression only. Clear? So to we saw yesterday in the Vayu, what is the Ojas Shakti is there, that is Shakti of the Indriyas. Sahaha Shakti is there, that is the Shakti of Antakarana. Then the Balam is there, that is the Sthura Sharira Shakti, Sthura Shakti. In the Vayu, because of which, in whichever the being, the living, when the Vayu is there, these faculties are functioning and their Cheshta, Gatihi, I know, all of them are Bhagavan, you only. Then the Sparsha Tanmatra, obviously, even though not said, we have to understand. Same way, in all the mm, space, you are the emptiness in the space. You are the directions in the space. You are the one, uh, what is called, the Shabda Tanmatra in the space. You are the one, the supporting aspect that is there in the space. So too, in the space only, the quiet nada which is going on, and whatever the varnas that are happening, and then among those, the prathama is Omkara, that one, and that name of everything, because of which the two akritis are separated from each other. One akriti, like two trees are there, different akriti. So a name is given to differentiate them. So this called as mango tree, this called as apple tree. So that आकृति उनको अलग अलग दिखाने वाला नाम is you. So the name is the Lord, the Swara Vyanjanas is the Lord, the Pranava Omkara is Lord, The Onkara, Swara, Vyanjana, they are expressing from the Nada. The Anahatanada is the quiet innermost continuously going on sound. There is other Nada going on at the Madhyama level, so too at the Vaikari level. So the Nada, the Shabda, the Onkara, the Nama, the Aksharas, every one of them, O Lord, which are all manifested in the space, you alone, along with the emptiness in the space, in the directions in the space, the uh, avakasham, the lakshana of allowing the other things to stay in it of the space, all in this rupa Bhagavan alone. Because minus the Lord, none of them can exist. So, overpowered by what we see, taking them as a reality, the Lord who is fully permeating in all of them. So far, we have forgotten. Through these stotras, we are reminded of the presence of Paramatma in and through everything so much that He alone is truly there. All those are having the appearance are only appearances, not they are real. They are not real. This transformation in our inner conviction, understanding, accordingly the behavior is called as spiritual unfoldment. And then that self or the Lord who is spoken in so many ways has to be discovered as our own self on the seat of dhyana in our own hridaya guha. This should never be forgotten throughout life because only in discovering the self in us that the first step of realization total happens. The second step is the same self is there in all. Yeah. That is how Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, Brahma Atma Ekatva Bodha, finally Sarva Atmya Bhava while expressing after the Jnana Anubhuti. Then Vasudevaji went on saying, Indriyam tu Indriyanam Tvam. See, in all the Indriyas, that specific Indriya Shakti you are. Then those Indriya Shaktis are not functional without the Adhisthana Devata. That Adhisthana Devata also are you. But Adhisthana Devata is there, Indriya is there potentially. But if the Adhisthana Devata doesn't do the Anugraha, that particular Indriya will not work in that way. Therefore, Indriya of every Indriya, the Adhisthana Devata and their Anugraha Rupena, you are the O Lord. So my nose, it is an Indriya, it is existence. And the Ashwini Devatas, Adhisthana Devata. And their blessings, then only the nostrils will work to inhale, exhale and also to smell various variety of smells. All these three are there, only then nose is able to smell. All these three are expression of Paramatma. In this way, everywhere keeping on doing the practice of presence of Paramatma silently in ourselves. That practice is leading to the doubtless feeling conviction that in and through everything, as their essence, Bhagavan alone is there. Having reached to this level, then who is that Bhagavan? In that inquiry, help of the Mahavakyas of the Upanishads, we take through that variety of Lakshana Vritti, we discover that to be Satyam Jnanamanantam Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman, we experience him. Right now, क्या हो रहा है? Because of not having this correct Siddhanta Jnanam that everything is Paramatma, we have wrong Siddhanta Jnanam that the whole world is there, it is real. Because of which, instead of searching for the Lord, seeking the Lord, we are seeking and searching only the Rupa Namatmaka Jagat. That being unreal, instead of giving us satisfaction or contentment, it's going on giving us disappointment only. If through every of the bhoga, the completeness, contentment if it comes. That bhoga again or any other bhoga should not coming in our mind as desire to fulfill. Everything is being again and again indulged means what? Very subtly thinking they are not giving the joy and contentment. That means they are disappointing. Not even one person is able to satiate his desires by fulfilling them and say that I am contented. Therefore, we are all of us are that way in this delusion of seeking eternity and bliss in the temporary, continuously changing things. This all is because of the Siddhanta Jnana that Paramatma is the substratum of everything. Because of the presence of substratum Paramatma alone, all things are existing and functional. And discovering of that Paramatma is the fulfiller of whatever the desire demands we have of being eternal, being blissful. ये ज्ञान स्थिर है तभी जाकर इस परमात्मा को पाने की इच्छा आध्यात्मिक साधना होता है. नहीं है the knowledge that everything is the Lord, without the Lord nothing can exist, then we seek the other things. Just like without the Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma, Vaidika Samskriti, no other religion in the world can even exist, which every true, honest, unbiased, so called religious leaders of those religions, they themselves accept. Other than the fanatic leaders, leaders can also need not be very matured. Fanatic leaders, the unbiased ones, you ask, everyone will tell the root of every religion is Hinduism. If that is known, we follow Sanatana Dharma only. Because that is not known, that it is substratum, all the outer glitterings, therefore people get tempted, etc. Some of them, though, go for those religions, yet hatred and vengeance to the Sanatana Dharma, which is the mother and father of those religions. विचित्र ना वर्ल्ड में कैसा होता है. Same way, if we don't understand there is a presence of Paramatma which is giving existence, which is giving that specific quality and functionality to everything. If we don't know this, instead of pursuing Paramatma, we only pursue the things. They are not, they being unreal without Paramatma. And we are seeking them not as Paramatma. Inevitably, they only disappoint us. But once Paramatma is known, Paramatma Anubhuti also comes. World is his own expression. Therefore, that also gives us joy. The double joy it will be. The real salary of Paramatma Anubhuti, the bonus of same Paramatma seen as the world of names forms. Okay. Now the next one we saw कि नादो वर्ण हो गया इंद्रियम तो इंद्रियाणाम त्वम देवाह तदनुग्रह. Now the most important is avabodha bhavan buddhe. है ना? The ability in the buddhi to understand is because of the presence of the Lord. Lord alone is expressing as buddhi. Lord alone is expressing as the functioning of the buddhi to listen or analyze, etc. Lord alone is expressing as the knowledge gained by the buddhi. Lord alone is functioning as the nischaya taken by the buddhi. So the nischayatmakata, the jnanatmakata, the vicharanatmakata, with which the buddhi is called as buddhi, all of them are because of Paramatma. That is the meaning of avabodha bhavan buddhehe. And then lastly, ki jivasya anusmriti sati. So you are the one in jiva, the cause for the feeling and experience of continuation which he has got in himself. Oh, okay. So jivasya anusmriti sati anusmriti jivasya. So in this way, the जीव का जीव के रूप में रहना, Jiva discovering his essential self to be Paramatma, both are you only. Morning we saw it in Yoga Darshanam as why this Drishyam, the purpose of the Drishya, It is not without prayojanam, it is with prayojanam. The prayojanam is bhoga and apavarga. Bhoga is of sukha dukkha. Who has that? Jiva. Apavarga is transcending the sukha dukkha, thus transcending jiva bhava, discovering the atma anubhava. It is what is here called as जीवस्य अनुस्मृति ही. So जीव का भोग में रहना, जीव अपवर्ग में पहुंचना, oh Lord, it is because of you. See, Vasudevji's talk or stuti here is containing all the Upanishads, all Yoga Darshanas. Is it not? The presence of Paramatma discovered. Remember, all this is only the Upasana Vibhuti. True Anubhuti that the God alone is there in all of them is possible only after experiencing that God in our own cave of heart. Without seeing the God self in our own self, it is impossible to see the same Lord everywhere. As we said yesterday, day before, then why we are told to see the Lord in everything instead of asking us to see the self as the Lord on the meditation seat? Oh, friends, what is first said is this only: sit, close your eyes, go into the heart, discover your essential nature. But how many out of thousand will be able to do that? Hardly one, two. Why? Why not the other 998? Because they are in the world outside with their faculties, taking the world of name form as real. So, and they are in a delusion of variety of manovikara, which are continuously pulling them into the worldliness. So, in all of that, the fact that everything is permeated with the Lord only, when that knowledge is given, their attitude towards the world, the desirability, the enjoyability, which are called the impurities of the heart, है ना, the काम क्रोध आदि किसके लिए होते हैं? जगत के वस्तुओं के लिए. They are all the impurity. When the whole world is trained to be taken as God, is these vikaras will not be there. Without these impurities, when the heart is purified, as you said or asked, the discovery of the self in our own bosom is possible. Without upasana, without our Chitta Shuddhi, without the bhavana, that Sarvam Paramatma, we cannot free ourselves from the impurity of the heart. Without that, we can never become introverted to contemplate, to discover the self, because these impurities will again and again push us into the outer world through senses and mana. So clear it is. Hmm. So in this way, he, Bhagavan has been telling about as you are that Anusmriti. Oh, okay. Now comes the next set of expression of the divinity only everywhere. Next, Bhutanam Asibhutadihi. Of all the Pancha Mahabhutas, the Adi, all of them, called as the Tamasika Ahankara. They are not, Ahankara is not Tamasic. The expression, see, the Aham expresses from Mahat. Mahat expresses from Avyakta or Prakriti. Prakriti has got the three gunas. Therefore, the three gunas of Prakriti will be expressed in the Mahat Tattva. Those three again are expressed in the Aham. Among them, the Tamo guna aspect of Aham is the one because of which all the Bhutas, Panchamaha Bhutas are there. They are in the Tanmatra Rupa as well as Sthula Rupa. The Tanmasastras go in the formation of Indriyas, etc. The Vishayas, etc. Then their permutation, mutual combination goes in the making of the Sthula Shariras. So that Bhutanam, Panchamahabhutanam, Adi, that Tamo Ahankara, O Lord, it is you only. Bhutanam, Api Asi Bhuta Adi. So too the Indriyanam cha, all the Indriyas, Pancha Jnanendriya, Pancha Karmendriya, Chatur Ahankara. All of them come from the Taijasa Ahankara, the Rajo Ahankara. That Rajo Ahankara, which is a cause of the entire Indriyas, Panchagnana, Karma, so to Antakarana, at the whole universal, Samashti and Vesti level. That Tejas Ahankara also, O Lord, you only. Then Vaikarikaha Vikalpanam. The Vaikarika Ahankara is Satuguna. That Satuguna Ahankara is a cause. अब अधिष्ठान देवतास विकल्प कहते हैं उनको who enter into this, okay, indriyas antakarana, which have already entered the sthula dehas made by the panchamahabhuta. So the panchamahabhuta made sthula shariras, entered by them is the indriyas antakarana out of rajoguna ahankara. Into them devatas enter, which are expression of sattvic ahankara. Clear? Yet they are not yet functional. Only Shuddha Paramatma enters them, they only all of them get enlivened, functional. Before that functional entry of Bhagavan, the mere expression of these Indriya Adhisthana Devatas through Sattvic Ahankar, Indriyas through Rasika Ahankar, the Panchamahabhutas and the bodies made by them through the Tamasic Ahankar, all of that is you only. Because when everything is Lord, when the Lord is pure existence and consciousness, in them also Bhagavan also must be there. So this is what Vasudeva says. So Vaikarika Vikalpanam. Then when all of them at the time of Pralaya go back into Pradhana Mula Prakriti, in that Mula Prakriti Rupa, that also you alone know. Okay? Pradhanam Anushayinam. Hmm. Here the Pradhana Anushayi is those jivas who are not liberated by their discovery of oneness with the truth. At the time of Pralaya, they go into the Anushayanam, sleeping into Pradhana. Again, when the Srushti starts in the next Kalpa, the Lord Sankalpa brings that agitation in the Samya Avastha Sthita Mula Prakriti or Pradhana. From there, whoever the jivas who went into the Avyakrita Sthiti, they come into expression, of course, again given with all these Stula Sukshma Karana Upadis, whatever he deserves. So that Pradhanam, into which the Anushayanam of all the jivas happen in the time of Pralaya, that is you only. How wonderful it is, see? In this way, Pradhanam Anushayinam. Clear? Now, next shloka is important. Nashwareshu iha bhaveshu tadasitvam anashwaram. Okay? Hmm. Very deep thoughts there all. In all the bhavas, means Rupanama, the objects, none of them are permanently staying. They are all coming, going. So, in their arrival, maintenance, and disappearance, there is something common thing which is neither arriving when they come, nor staying when they stay, nor goes when they go away. It always. On this one thought, if one is able to deeply contemplate, he enters into the deep meditation. Hmm. So, one object has come in my presence. I have seen it, gone. That object. Another object came. I have seen it. That also gone. Now, one object gone, second object came. In between, what is there? The absence of two objects. But who is recognizing it? Me, the subject. Therefore, where am I, the subject? When the object one came, I was there. When it went away, I was there. When there is space gap in between, that time I was there. When the second object came, I was there. When it has gone away, I am there. Is it not? I am there, no? Like one car going, I saw. After that, there's no car came. Other car came. I saw. In between, who said that there is no car? I only. How I saw? I saw matlab I am there. Is it not? At a gross level, because of identity with this there as me, the other object is taken as other than me. Therefore, cars coming and going. But at the pure Vedanta sthai, the pure Brahman alone, here as the subject, there as object is expressing. And the rule is what? As the objects change, the corresponding subject also changes. Then who is supporting both subject and object set, which are coming one after the other, going after the one after the other, that is me. That me, that pure self is, O Lord, O Krishna, it is you. Our Vasudevji says, Nashvareshu iha bhaveshu tadapi tvam anashvaram. So this should help us, this thought. In all the perishable things, there is something which is monitoring that perishability, and that is imperishable. Luckily, that is I. And I am that imperishable self in whose presence the perishable things come and go. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam, all that. If you can deepen this thought that I am that imperishable self, all the fears of death, disease, everything goes away. They go away. They don't bother us. And actually, that imperishable, pure conscious self, Sachidananda, we have discovered it on the seat of Dhyana. What else? Batao. Moksha hi moksha. So, Nashwareshu iva bhaveshu tadasitvam anashwaram. This thought being very, very pivotal, very, very sublime, important, Vasudevji tries to tell it with an example. Ki yatha dravya vikareshu dravya matram nirupitam. Is it not? Hmm? Hmm. So dravya vikareshu dravya matram nirupitam as satyam. And the vikaras come and go. So dravya vikara are, dravya is the mud, dravya vikara is the pot, any number of pots. Actually, it's so simple it is to understand. Is mud changed before pot made, during pot's making, during the sustenance of the pot, even the pot gets broken? No, mud is always same. Then what is that which is making the mud as the pot? Only the name and form. Is it not? Even form also is not there, name alone. That is why the mud का विकार जब हम pot कहते हैं, it is nothing but name only. Otherwise, before, during, after, what is there is only the mud. So that dravya vikara is the pot. Okay. In the dravya vikara pot, which is nashvara, the anashvara mud is there as support. Is it not? It is not nashvara. The nashvara pot में the anashvara mud. See that? यथा द्रव्य विकारेषु द्रव्य मात्रम निरूपितम. By saying this, we are told to discover the dravya, the substratum, because of which everything is staying or existing. On inquiry, it is found to be the pure Sat Vastu existence only. Unfortunately, that being without any Jati Dravya Guna Kriya, it cannot be presented in the form of conceivability through any of the faculties. This Sat Swarupa Paramatma, which is the Avikara Anashvara substratum among all Vikara Yukta Nashvara Vastus, unfortunately or fortunately, it has to be experienced as the subject only. Cannot be explained like any other object is explained, nor therefore it can be shown also. यही सबसे बड़ा उपलब्धि भी है और समस्या भी है. उपलब्धि क्यों? क्योंकि व्हेन आई डिस्कवर दैट टू बी माई सेल्फ देयर इज अ मोक्ष. समस्या क्यों है कि इट कैन नॉट बी ऑब्जेक्टिफाइड एंड ऑलवेज वी ट्राई टू know the things objectively. That is a habit of azu. Self is being subject. It can never subject to objectification. Therefore, never one can say one has seen or understood the self. And the one who understands and says that the self is not the thing to be seen or known, self is the thing to be experienced as being. He has crossed the biggest hurdle of Manabuddhi, which says self cannot be seen or explained, therefore it is not there. That obstacle is conquered by the one who gets convinced of this simple but very sublime logic, that how can the self be the object? Then how can the self be known like any other objects through the faculties? Then the subjective self has to be realized as subject. That's it. Therefore, everybody can have anubhuti of Atma. Nobody can talk or tell or see or listen or understand about Atma, because it is not Anatma. अनात्मा को जान सकते हैं हम. आत्मा को जानोगे तो वो अनात्मा बन जाएगा ना, क्योंकि एनीथिंग जाना जाता है वो अनात्मा हो जाता है. एनीथिंग नोन बिकम्स नॉट सेल्फ. Therefore, if you know the self, it has become not self. Another logic is what? Then, if this self has become known, then who is knowing it? If the self has become known, then who is knowing it? No one will not be there. Logical fallacy कहते हैं उसको. So this is a very good thought. Nashwareshu bhaveshu tad apisi tam anamashwaram yata dravya vikareshu dravya matram nirumit. Thousands of pots made broken. Nothing happens to the mud. It is anashwara. So to millions and trillions of brahmandas with all their variety of things can come, can play, can go. Nothing happens to the pure self, conscious existing self, all pervading self, immutable self, eternal self, birth, growth, change, death, decay, less self. That self is you, oh Krishna Vasudeva is saying. He also is that self only, but the glorification he is doing of his son, whom he took as son so far. He is rectifying that mistake. Thereafter, everyone is same Paramatma. In this way, everyone is other than Paramatma. That mistake also is rectified. Finally, I am also the same pure Paramatma. By this knowledge, I am other than Paramatma, a Jiva with Upadhi. This mistake with myself also gets rectified. All is first intellectual, second on the seat of dhyana, anubhuti. Next, sattvam rajastamaiti gunaha tad vrittayaschayaha. See the morning talk, yoga darshanam. पूरा उतर गया इधर, उतार दिया गया. Sattva and raja and tama iti gunaha tad vrittayaha. Their vritti में प्रवर्तन व्यवहार. Sattva makes us do or gain jnana. Rajoguna causes dynamism, action. Tamaguna causes the staticness, dravyata, being stationary. So the sthiti, kriya and prakasha. Prakasha, kriya, sthiti, shilam, bhuta, indriya, atmakam, bhoga, apavarga, artham, drishyam. पढ़ रहे हैं हम. So here, sattvam, rajah, tamah iti gunaha tad vrittayah yaha. All of them, gunas and their functioning. So, tvai adha brahmani pare kalpita. They are unnecessarily Kalpita on you who's the Param Brahma. And how they are Kalpita? Yoga Mayaya. Hmm. Therefore, Bhagavan always intact, unaffected by the three gunatmaka Maya. Parabrahma, same is in our own self. And when these three gunas and their vrittis are parikalpita, then after the parikalpana of these three gunas on the pure Brahman, that Brahman alone is taken as the Jiva. Like cinema actors. कोई पौराणिक character, somebody acted Mano, and that movie became very famous, let's say. Then whenever he is going in airport or flight, people look at him and say, Hare Ram ja rahe, Hare Krishna ja rahe, Hare Duryodhan ja rahe, Ravana. It is Kalpita on him, the one who is not that character. Thereafter, he is called as that only. See, Triguna Bandhana is to the Jiva. Be attentive, not to Paramatma. When the Triguna Bandhana is superimposed on Paramatma, then when he is looked by our mistake from those three gunas, he is called as Jiva. Whether it is in me or in you, when I look in myself also, in you also. My own seeing you, मैं अपने आप को या आपको भी देखूं, in me, in you, the Brahman is there, untouched by the three gunas. But if I take the Triguna Aropita self, suddenly I only pulled my pure self to the Jiva level. जहाँ जीव है वहीं ब्रह्म है, याद रखना. This Maha mantra in the 11th Skandha, how many times we discussed? Remember? Paramatma Vidya Upadhi is Jiva. Jiva Nirupadika is Paramatma. Parabrahma, man with the Upadhi, son is father. Father minus the Upadhi, son is man. There are no two. After studying Taittiriya, हमको तो डाउट ही नहीं होना चाहिए. तद सृष्ट्वा तदेव अनुप्राविशत. Anupravishat of the Paramatma. Paramatma's pravesha in the created world is for us to recognize him. Instead of recognizing him, when we look at that Paramatma with the upadhis in which he has entered, then we are seeing that Paramatma alone as Jivatma. Clear? Bhagavan is expressing in our Vijnanamaya Kosha as Jnata, Manta, Drashta, Shrota. Is it not? Why is he expressing like that? For us to recognize him, because all pervading Paramatma and homogeneous Paramatma, non specific Paramatma cannot be recognized. Therefore, for us to become available, Paramatma is expressing there as these four. Therefore, through the Jnata, Manta, Shrota, Drashta, we have to reach to the Paramatma who is beyond these four expressions. How do you reach to him? By dropping the upadhis through which he is expressing as Jnata, Manta, Shrota, Drashta. Then you will discover him as Sthidabhasa and Chitswarupa. For that sake, the Jnata, Manta, Drashta, Shrota के रूप में परमात्मा expressing. That is a pravesha shruti. But if that goal of through this expression, Paramatma has to be recognized is forgotten, then what do we do? That pursuit of dropping the upadhi to see the self beyond jnata drashta, that we are not doing. Then what are we doing? We are continuing to be Jnata, Drashta, Shrota, Manta, Vijnata through the Upadhi, he is called Jiva. In me, also in you. In me, when I am looking at you, I am looking at you as a Drashta, so therefore I am Drashta. तो लुढ़क गया हूँ मैं, संसारी जीव बन गया. I am looking at you and becoming Drashta only to recognize my Druk Sarupa, which is beyond the Drashta Sarupa, which I recognize when I drop the Drushya. So आंख खोला, दृश्य दिखा, दृश्य दिखते ही दृष्टा गुरु याद आया, दृष्टा को देखते हुए दृश्य को छोड़ दिया, सो तो दृष्टा जो है दृक् स्वरूप बन जाता है, which is his essential nature. Like that, every one of us at every moment, through every using of every of the faculty in visualizing everything of his world, one can reach to the self. That is why pratibodha viditam matam, or yatra yatra manoyati tatra tatra samadaya. See that? That is the thing he is speaking here. Yatha sattvam rajasamiti gunaha tadvritaya yaha tvai adha brahmani pare kalpitaha yoga maya. परम ब्रह्म पे ये सब कल्पित है, रियल नहीं है. That Brahma we have to recognize as ourselves. So entire Upanishadic classes of ours seems Vasudevji has attended them. Tvai pare brahmani kalpitaha. Just. All these 5-6 aspects, we have to be very clear if you want to be true Vedanti Adhyatmic sadhak. One, Parabrahma pure alone is there, Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Second, that Parabrahman alone either recognized his Shakti, therefore wanted to use that Shakti to express as the multiple world, or wanted to express as multiple world to achieve that. He become aware of his Shakti. Second, then through that Shakti of him, he himself be attentive. Without undergoing any modification, is appearing as the Vyashti and Samashti, the Karya and Karana, the Ishvara and Jiva and Jagatu. While all this is happening, he, the pure immaculate Brahman, he is not at all be impacted by, influenced by his own expression through his own Shakti as the Vyashti, Jiva, Samashti, Ishvara and the Jagat. Our job is to recognize that Brahman as self. Thereafter, with his Maya, the world, through the Maya, he only experiencing as this world, all of them are easily, simply grasped and digested. The root, the basic thing is understood, na? All other follow it. Understood and experienced. With the base root is not experienced, understood, other thoughts appear to be non-understandable, non-acceptable. Hmm. Clear? The projected snake never touches the rope at any period. But at the time of projection, the snake is taken as so real that really we were frightened and experienced the plight of that frightenedness, the fright, the fear. Is it not? He has not realized the rope as rope. He has taken it as the snake real. How much of fear, bhaya, dukkha he experienced? हुआ कि नहीं अनुभूति? So he has experienced the dukkha or bhaya, seeing the real snake, which is never there, which never touched the rope. So too, never there, never touched. You know, the snake is never there, and that's are the whole world in the pure Brahman, it is never there. Pure Brahman को ये पूरा world ने never touch भी किया. But in the absence of the pure Brahma Jnana, we are just like in the absence of knowledge of the rope, snake is projected. So too, in the pure knowledge, absence of the self, absence of the knowledge of self, the whole world of anything you call thereafter is projected. याद रखना, reality is one. Once we come a step down from the reality, start imagining or projecting on it something else. That something else has no count, no limitation. Infinite it can be. Reality is gold. A step down, you come from it. Try to imagine any name and form on that. Now, is there any end to those imagined names and forms and varieties? Millions, millions, trillions. Is it not? You can make them golden ornaments. You can make the gold as utensils. You can make as furniture. You can build the houses with that. In any number of rupa, what you see of the world, the gold can be molded if the gold purely is not seen as the gold and you want to imagine the rupa nama on it. Exactly, that is what happened, because of which we are seeing the whole world of names and forms. Because of not seeing the self as it is, Brahman as it is, we started projecting, in the projections have no end, infinite. Like आज तक कितने ऑर्नामेंट बने गोल्ड से, कल कितने बन सकते हैं, there's no end. So to till now, in how many forms the worlds or Vishwa is seen, tomorrow in how many ways it is going to happen or appear, countless, infinite. All these are projection on one pure Brahman. All ornaments are projection on one gold. All iron metals instruments are projection on one iron. All the mud parts in future which are going to come, projections on the mud reality. So in this way, त्वयि अद्धा ब्रह्मणि परे कल्पिताः योगमायया. Sattvam rajastam iti gunaha tadvrittayaha yaha. So therefore pure Brahman in me, because of Sattva guna, he doesn't become intelligent. Because of Rajoguna, he doesn't become dynamic. Because of Tamoguna, he doesn't become static or lazy. And then the one who doesn't know this state of being, till that state of being is not known, influenced by these three guna, as if influenced by these three guna, a peculiar way he behaves. He is called as Jiva, who calls himself as a Jnani by identifying with the Sattva guna, Karta by identifying the Rajo guna, then the Sthitaha, stationed at one place doing nothing, with the Stamo guna. Imagining. When these very sublime truths are realized, we understand what's meditation. Meditation is stop to become everything or anything and just be. That is dhyana. That is why na ayam atma pravachanena medaya bahuna shrutina. Because through pravachana I become pravachana karta. Through medha I become medhavi. Through the shravanam I become only shrotriya. No. All of them are becomings only. Because of the intellectual upadhi. Sattva guna upadhi. Brahman is beyond all that. Therefore, yameva yesha prunute means what there? The becoming God ko chodkar, just being the God or the self or Brahman, the one who chooses. And while choosing it, when he is ready to sacrifice all becomings, then he realizes his real being. That's the meaning of Tasya Esha Atma Swam Tanum Vivrunute. Upanishadic mantra. In the same way, he says, Tasmat na santyami bhavaha yarhi tvai vikalpitaha tvam chamishu vikareshu hi anyada vyavaharikaha. Okay? Mhm. Exactly what we explained so far is what is said in that shloka without chanting, which we just talked. Because the thought being continuous, that itself clicked to us without minding the shloka, wherein the shloka was telling this meaning only, that these three gunas as well as the guna vrittis, as well as long as the kalpana is given reality, you only express as jiva. When the kalpana is given as a kalpana status, not reality, then you will see that they never touched you and you remain as Brahman. Always. The potness never touched the mud. Ornamentation never touched the gold. Waves never touched the water. Dream never touched the waking mind. When it has touched only, how can it influence and all? But not knowing the truth of our own self, not knowing this, we just get carried away with the identity with the upadhis. That's called jiva. Okay? Tasmad na santi ami bhavaha. Therefore, these bhavas of Sattva Tamaguna and their Vritti, they are not ever on you. Tvai vikalpata. They are only projected. Tamcha amishu vikareshu. And you reveling in them also. Ki, as long as you allow it. Anyat avyavaharikaha. You are anya only always. But when you don't discover that anyatva of you, then you, by giving importance, reality to vyavahara, you behave as if you are so. And everybody going to the office. Subha now says, Shampandak, in that office is an officer or a police officer. He goes on working, घर आ जाते हैं, तो you change all the dress. You are what you are. Then after retirement, even every day going, coming also is not there. Only X is added. Ex army officer. X so and so. While being an office also you are an individual. You have taken up that role to perform. That role never touches you, the self. Same way, the गुणाओं के कारण जागृत स्वप्न सुषुप्ति अवस्था में घूमते हुए जीवी के द्वारा नाटक करते हुए भी उन किसी से भी अस्पृश अनटच्ड वाले प्योर सेल्फ आर यू ओ लॉर्ड. दैट लॉर्ड इज मी ओनली. So this is how three more shlokas our Vasudevji does the pure Vedantic stuti. थोड़ा सा हम इसको कल पढ़ेंगे. सर्वम कृष्णार्पणमोम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदम पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. बोल श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय. श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण शास्त्र की जय. सद्गुरुदेव भगवान की जय. ओम. नीलमेघ श्याम कृष्ण नित्य जगन्मोहन कृष्ण बालगोपाल कृष्ण भव्य मंगलम वेणुगान लोल कृष्ण वेदांत वेद्य कृष्ण नवनीत चोर कृष्ण नित्य मंगलम भक्त जनाधार कृष्ण परमदयावार्धि कृष्ण मुक्ति संदायक कृष्ण मूर्ति मंगलम गीतामृतदाता कृष्ण परमयोगीश कृष्ण पार्थसारथि रूप कृष्ण सर्वमंगल. न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमाविद्युतपः तस्य वासा नारायणाय वासुदेव. मंगलम श्री कुरुक्षेत्र नक्ष व्यासाय विष्णुपाय व्यास योगेन्द्राय नमस्तस्मै शुक्राय. बोल श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय. श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण शास्त्र की जय. श्री वेद व्यास सुखदेव सूतादि भागवताचार्य की जय. बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. सतगुरुदेव भगवान की जय. आज के आनंद की जय. समस्त भागवत शास्त्र श्रोता भक्त साधक सेवक उपासक जिज्ञासु गण की जय. थैंक यू. Mm.